It was a freezing Thursday night in Shvington, England. The kind of evening where most people stayed inside, curtains drawn, central heating on, families gathered around the TV. Kilburn Drive looked like any other quiet street. Nothing out of the ordinary. But that calm wouldn't last long. Something happened that shattered the silence. A neighbor stepped outside and noticed a shape lying still at the bottom of a driveway. At first, it was hard to make out in the dim winter light. Was it a bag? A person? Within moments, emergency services were called. Police, firefighters, and paramedics rushed to the scene. The road was quickly sealed off. Then came something unusual. Hazmat suits, chemical gear, floodlights. Whatever had happened here, it wasn't simple. As specialists moved in, the grim truth started to emerge. On the ground was the body of 38-year-old Liam Smith. He had been shot in the face. His body had also been doused in chemicals, likely an attempt to destroy evidence and slow down identification. The scene was unlike anything local officers had ever encountered. A calculated murder with a gruesome twist. Investigators knew right away this wasn't a robbery gone wrong or a random act of violence. It was a methodical, deliberate attack. But who would do this to Liam? There was nothing about him that suggested danger. Liam wasn't involved in crime. He didn't have enemies. He wasn't on anyone's radar. Liam Smith was a father of two. He ran a small electrical company, LPS Electrical and Build Limited, and he was known for being hardworking and kind. His past included military service, a time that shaped his quiet resilience. People who knew him spoke of a generous man, the kind who'd stop what he was doing to help a neighbor, the kind who lived for his kids. His sister Gemma called him her rock. Flowers and tributes piled up outside his home as the community struggled to understand how this could happen to someone like him. Police began retracing Liam's final steps. That trail led to something unexpected, a dating app. Years earlier, Liam had met a woman on Tinder. What began as a casual connection slowly evolved into something more. But beneath the surface, not everything was as it seemed. Behind the screen, behind the charm, there was another story unfolding. As detectives dug into Liam's history, one name began to stand out: Rachel Fulstow. It was a name Liam likely hadn't thought about in years. In 2019, they had matched on Tinder and met up during a trip to New York. Just a dinner, some drinks, then a night in a hotel. For Liam, it was casual, unremarkable. He moved on, but for Rachel, it lingered. She never reported anything at the time. She even shared a meal with him the next day. No complaints, no alarm bells, just silence. But years later, Rachel would reframe that night, suggesting it hadn't been entirely consensual. Not quite an accusation, not quite denial either. Just enough to light a fuse in the wrong person. That wrong person was Michael Hillier. By 2021, Rachel was deep in a relationship with Hillier, a man whose life was built around secrets. He was a drug dealer from Sheffield, well-versed in burner phones, fake plates, and erasing traces. He lived loud, sports cars, designer gear, the look of control. But his world behind closed doors was darker, aggressive, possessive, dangerous. Rachel had once worked in luxury hotels, but now she was living in Michael's shadow. And when she told him about her past with Liam, whether out of guilt, manipulation, or fear, it became the spark that ignited a twisted obsession. Hillier didn't just get angry, he became consumed, convinced that Liam needed to pay. But this wasn't about justice, it was about dominance, ego, control. And as his fantasies darkened, Rachel didn't resist. She didn't stop him. Whether manipulated, scared, or complicit, her silence became part of the plan. Their relationship, already toxic, now had a target. The plan to kill Liam Smith didn't happen overnight. It unfolded slowly, carefully, with chilling precision. Investigators later traced the earliest signs of plotting back to May 2022. From that moment on, the couple operated in quiet coordination. Rachel's role was discreet but vital. She began digging into Liam's life, his work at LPS Electrical and Build Limited, his routine, his location. She found his home address. She passed it along. The groundwork was being laid, step by step. Michael Hillier was preparing for murder, and Rachel was helping him pave the way. Rachel's online activity painted a picture far darker than anyone expected. Her search history showed an eerie progression. Searches like, what is premeditated? And how long does it take for a car to burn completely? Weren't just random thoughts. They were indicators of a brewing plan. She even checked the weather forecast for town on the date they intended to strike. Meanwhile, Michael Hillier was preparing with military-like focus. In his cellar in Sheffield, he converted blank-firing guns into deadly weapons, rigged to fire live rounds. He built targets and practiced his aim in secret. And it didn't stop there. He bought sulfuric acid and soda crystals, chemicals chosen specifically to destroy DNA, confuse forensic teams, and erase any trace of what was about to happen. This wasn't a crime of passion. This was strategy. On November 2nd, 2022, Hillier made his first trip to Wigan. It wasn't the attack. This was reconnaissance, surveillance. He drove a car, now fitted with cloned number plates, and parked it near Kilburn Drive. For hours, he sat there silently, watching Liam Smith's home, taking notes, waiting. CCTV later confirmed it. Hillier blended into the background of the neighborhood like any other vehicle on a quiet, residential street. Over the next few weeks, the couple fine-tuned the plan. Weapons, chemicals, fake plates. Nothing was rushed. One of those plates would later become a key piece of evidence tying everything together. Then, the date was chosen, November 24th, 2022. Early that morning, Hillier set off from Sheffield. His car carried everything he needed: the altered gun, the acid, soda crystals, and a high-visibility jacket to make him appear as just another tradesman. By midday, he was parked on Kilburn Drive again, this time facing Liam's home directly. He waited for 10 hours. Neighbors remembered seeing the car, but no one questioned it. CCTV footage captured Hillier pacing near the vehicle, adjusting his jacket, rehearsing what was about to happen. As evening fell and darkness settled over Shvington, Hillier made his move. Just after 6:30 p.m., wearing a head torch, he walked toward Liam's house. The light from the torch served a purpose. It suggested a work emergency, a reason to knock, a reason for Liam to come outside. Liam did. Seconds later, a gunshot echoed through the air. Captured only as audio on nearby CCTV, it was a single shot, close range, aimed at Liam's face. He collapsed on the driveway, but Hillier wasn't done. He circled the block, then returned. From the back of the car, he retrieved the bottles of acid and soda crystals. He poured the chemicals directly over Liam's body, a deliberate attempt to destroy evidence and deform the crime scene beyond recognition. The goal was clear: confusion, delay, misdirection. Then, just like that, he vanished. Back on Kilburn Drive, emergency responders arrived to a nightmarish scene. Chemical residue covered the area. Fumes lingered in the air. The street, once calm and ordinary, had transformed into the epicenter of a brutal, calculated murder. Police didn't need long to realize. This wasn't random. This was a carefully orchestrated execution, cold, premeditated, and unlike anything Greater Manchester Police had dealt with in years. In the hours after the murder, Michael Hillier quietly made his way back to Yorkshire. The chaos he left behind on Kilburn Drive was still unfolding. Sirens, flashing lights, investigators trying to make sense of the horror they had just found. Meanwhile, Hillier focused on erasing his presence. The car, now tied directly to the crime, was torched. The fake license plates went up in flames with it. The goal was simple: eliminate every trace. Rachel played her role in the aftermath. She stayed low, carefully avoiding activity on her phone during the time of the murder. She knew investigators would check her digital footprint, but what she didn't account for was the digital evidence already in place: her past searches, location queries, and research into Liam's life. It was all saved, all retrievable. Instead of going quiet, the couple did the unthinkable. Days after Liam Smith's execution, they boarded a flight to Jamaica. For 2 weeks, they lived in luxury, riding horses through turquoise waters, sipping cocktails under the Caribbean sun, smiling in photos as if Kilburn Drive had never existed, as if Liam's life hadn't just been stolen. For police, this was more than arrogance. It was proof of how little remorse either of them had. Back home, Greater Manchester Police were working around the clock. They sifted through hundreds of hours of CCTV, focusing on every vehicle that appeared near Liam's house on November 24th, 2022. One detail kept resurfacing: the car, parked for hours, barely moving, then disappearing just after the gunshot. An appeal went out, and soon a match was made. South Yorkshire Police reported stopping that exact same vehicle weeks earlier. Behind the wheel, Michael Hillier. With that, the investigation shifted. Hillier was now the primary suspect. A deeper dive into his background exposed more. He was involved in large-scale cannabis production. He used burner phones, moved carefully, and stayed out of sight. But even professionals leave trails, and Hillier did too. Cell phone data placed him in Wigan on the night of the murder. When the couple returned from Jamaica, the net was already closing. Hillier was arrested in January 2023. Rachel was brought in for questioning, initially as a witness, but she lied over and over again. Her calm demeanor began to crack when detectives laid out the evidence. Her searches, her role in gathering intel, her silence during the planning stages. She wasn't a bystander, she was part of it. In February, Rachel was arrested. The perfect crime they believed they had committed was now unraveling. Every move they made had left a mark: search histories, vehicle sightings, phone data, travel plans. All of it came together in a timeline that pointed to one truth. They had planned Liam Smith's murder, step by step. For Liam's family, nothing could undo the events of that cold November night. Kilburn Drive, once a peaceful neighborhood, became a scene of flashing blue lights, forensic tents, and media trucks. But beyond the headlines was a family grieving the loss of a man they loved, a father, a son, a brother, taken without warning in a way no one could have imagined. What remained was heartbreak. And a single question: how could something so senseless be planned so carefully? Liam's 2 young boys were left fatherless. The man who once tucked them in, who worked tirelessly to provide for them, who never missed a moment, was gone. Neighbors remembered Liam as a hands-on dad, always smiling, always there. Now those same children would grow up without the steady presence of the man who loved them most. As time passed and horrifying details emerged, gunfire, chemicals, a body desecrated, the pain only deepened. The Liam they knew, the kind, hardworking family man, was so far removed from the brutality of his final moments, it didn't feel real. For his family, no sentence, no trial, no headline could undo what had been done. But they still held on to one thing: truth. Truth, they hoped, would bring accountability and maybe some peace. That moment finally came on the 20th of July 2023 inside Minshall Street Crown Court in Manchester. The courtroom was filled. Journalists, police officers, and a family ready to face the people who had destroyed their world. Prosecutor Jason Pitter led the case for the Crown, laying out every detail. The months of planning, the weapons, the chemicals, the coldness of it all. He called it what it was: premeditated murder under the guise of vigilante justice. The defense tried to twist the narrative. Michael Hillier admitted to killing Liam, but claimed it was manslaughter. A crime of passion, he argued, triggered by Rachel's claim of non-consensual sex during her Tinder date with Liam years earlier. Hillier insisted he wasn't a killer, just a man trying to make things right. Rachel, in contrast, denied everything. She said she had no part in the planning, no knowledge of the attack, and no idea Hillier was capable of such violence. But the evidence told a different story. Her search history, her weather checks, her research into Liam's life. All of it was there, and the jury believed it. After 6 long weeks of testimony, the verdict came: guilty, both of them. On 25th August 2023, sentencing was handed down. Michael Hillier, age 39 from Sheffield, was sentenced to life in prison with a minimum of 33 years. Rachel, 37, from York, also received life with a minimum of 30 years. As the judge read the sentences, Liam's family broke down in tears. The trial was over, the waiting was done, and the people who had stolen Liam from them would never walk free again. But no sentence could fill the space Liam left behind. His boys would still wake up without their dad. His parents would still mourn the son they raised, and Kilburn Drive would never feel the same.